I'm realizing how hard it is to describe art in words, technically, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's basically all by feeling at this point. I just can't describe a lot of it. Yeah, see, this is the idea I'm going for. We have all these quote-unquote sides that are 2 pixels wide and few corners, which are going to be the 1 pixel wide bits right there, right here, over here, and here. So that, yeah, that looks like a circle for sure. That looks like a circle. Only issue I have with this is those little bits at the end. So I guess we have to do our best to eyeball it. Do something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like a circle. But yeah, I guess this is interesting. We got to increase the number of sides, and we have to make sure each of them are kind of similar in length, weirdly enough. That looks like a circle to me. Maybe. Maybe if I do something like this. Yeah, this is a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I thought we'd be able to find some kind of easy pattern to replicate, but it seems like that is not the case. There's kind of a method of doing it rather than exact science. Yeah, that looks like a circle right there. So we have even more sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But we also have 8 corners, quote unquote. We could call that a ratio of like 3 to 4, maybe. Again, I'm trying to put this in like a simpler term so I can just expand it outwards easily, but still don't know if that's going to be possible. So then, I guess the question would be, how can we expand this outwards while increasing the sides, keeping them all relatively the same length as each other, and reducing the amount of corners, or maybe keeping that ratio of 3 to 4 if that rings true. Is this how mathematicians work? I've never done anything quite like this. I've never had to just figure out a mathematical principle just by doing it by brute force. I would imagine this is how mathematicians do it, though, or just scientists in general. Just keep refining it until you get to where you need to go, huh? Very interesting. Alright, so let's try our best here. Let's increase the side length right here. Let's keep this as a kind of a long side there. Then I guess we have 2 extra edges aside each like cardinal edge, let's call it. By cardinal, I'm referring to the cardinal directions, so up, down, left, right, or if you want to call it north, east, south, west, that also works. So we have, let's see, an edge there. Have that there, and then edges there.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
So we're maintaining the amount of edges, we're maintaining the amount of corners, we're just making the cardinal edges
Clean
slightly
cuts and still cuts a
longer.
tomato.
How does that work? It's a question.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
Yeah, that definitely looks circular to me. I'm going to tweak it a little bit just to see if we can make it even more circular. But that definitely looks like a circle to me. If I saw that in a game, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's definitely like a coin or some kind of pickup or something like that. That's definitely a circle. For sure, for sure. Let's see what we can do here though. What I can think of is maybe shortening these cardinal edges a little bit, and then making these a little bit longer. Maybe even just getting rid of the corners entirely. Maximize the amount of edges.
Get ready, Moab. Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
Kind of interesting that this, if you think about it, what I'm doing is like mathematically futile in a way. What I mean by that is pixel art is obviously all squares, and mathematically a circle has 0 corners and 0, or I guess infinite corners and infinite edges, right? So if you think about it, you can never really have a true circle in pixel art at all, ever. No matter how much you want to smooth out the pixels or increase the resolution, because they're always just pixels at the end of the day. So a true circle you can't ever achieve through pixels, I guess. So it's kind of interesting that we're even trying this in the first place, because it's like we're getting closer to getting a circle. We're never ever going to get a true circle. We're always just going to get close to getting it to a circle. You know what I mean? I think it's just a little interesting to think about. And I'm looking at this right here, and I'm thinking it's like almost circular. I don't know, there's something about it that almost fulfills what I need it to, but it just doesn't quite cross that line for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's those corners I just added. In the preview window, from far away, it does look nice, but like, see, that looks like it's like a pointy circle. Like, it's not really a circle. Maybe something like this can do what I need it to. Maybe can do the job. Yeah, I guess that's something. I want to see what it looks like compared to what we just had, though. I think we had longer cardinal sides here. Something like that. Yeah, I think it was like that before.
Moab,
I can't really decide which one looks more like a circle. Kind of tricky to say. At this point, I've kind of lost what's what we're going for in terms of math. Like, if there's a certain relationship between the amount of edges and the amount of corners, or the relationship between the length of the non-cardinal edges with the cardinal edges. I feel like there should be some kind of equation for that because it's a circle. Like, how could there not be an equation that translates to that? But I just haven't figured it out. Okay, that does not look like a circle to me. That looks like a like a star shape almost. Like it's pointed. Not that it's just not a circle. I don't know. This is definitely, I would call this circular right here. I would call that circular. Honestly, yeah, I think this compared to the last one that we had, where it was kind of a, it was a circle, but the very corners of it had a little bit of a weird kink in there. I think this is a little bit better, at least in my opinion. Oh, of course we just lose on the very last round there. Why wouldn't we? Kind of surprised the Super Monkey Tech Terror is not strong enough to clear out ZOMG by itself. I feel like a lot of tier 4s can do that. I feel like a Super Monkey should especially be able to do that. But whatever. Okay, anyways, yes, I would call this a circle. Let me try to quantify this in my erotic brain. So we have, let's see, 12 edges and 8 corners. So let's call that a 3-to-4 ratio. 3 to 4 corners to edges. The cardinal edges are significantly longer than the non-cardinal edges. That's kind of about it, really, that I can see. Let's expand this outwards. Let's see what we can do. Let's keep the cardinal edges long. Let's keep the amount of edges and corners. We still have a 3-to-4 ratio. Okay, that's something. It's a little hard to judge, considering it's intersecting the grid. Can I make that invisible, I wonder? Workspace layout, tilted mode symmetry, timeline. Layer, maybe? Oh. Maybe I can make it a different color to make it stand out a bit more. A green. A little hard to see. A blue? That works. can see that a little bit better.
Sharp as it gets.
Kind of a purplish indigo right there, but that works.
Good choice.
It's a little easier to see, slightly. So, okay. What would be the fix here then, if anything? I think maybe, if anything, we could actually sacrifice a little bit length on the cardinal edges, add it to the non-cardinal edges, and our little, I guess an axiom or like our rule of thumb here would still ring true, that the cardinal edges would be longer. We do that.
Now we're talking.
Okay, that's something. I think that looks ever so slightly more square than it did. Maybe if we did this. I wonder if there could be something to be said about the length of the non-cardinal edges relative to the cardinal edges, because yes, I was just saying we need to have the cardinal edges be longer, like significantly longer. But I wonder if there's like a certain point at which, or like a certain relationship they need to keep in order for that to be true.
Leaping sword.
That's a specific number. Is that? I think this looks like a circle quite a bit, actually. Again, it's kind of tricky to tell with the overlap against the grid, but I think that looks quite like a circle.
Cool.
So I don't know if there's like a something to be said about like the relationship between the length of the cardinal and non-cardinal edges, but it seems like at a certain point it becomes awkward. Like if I have this, like I had, this is almost the same thing. We still have the cardinal edges longer than the non-cardinal edges. It's just that you could do it like this and increase the amount of sides. Which I suppose is also what we're going for. We're trying to increase the amount of sides as much as possible. I guess maybe that's a twofold kind of a, not a problem, but twofold situation there. You have to keep the sides a certain length, and you have to increase the amount of sides that you have in general. So in order to do that, you need to maintain a certain length on them.
Get ready. Moab. Even better.
Something like that. I feel like I'm working out my brain a lot more than I should be. It's not a bad thing, though. I enjoy doing math, so it's not an unwelcome moment. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to progress this game right here. Monkey sub should cover most of what we need it to. Anything that gets past Sato is going to get melted by that thing. We'll use the farm to save up money for tier 5s. And other than that, we just gotta worry about the mobs, of course. Spike Factory could do the job. XXL Trap could do the job. We don't have that much money though, so. Arcane Spike, I think, actually might do the job. Let's do that. Let's get a Spike Factory right there, and then get a Arcane Spike right over here. And maybe like a, I don't know, like a bomb tower or something like that to clean up. Do right there. Anyways, let's see. Again, we always have to check whether or not our theory rings true. Obviously, there's some kind of emerging mathematical concept here that I just can't grasp. Okay, that looks like a circle to me. It is still hard to tell exactly what's going on because of the grid. But that does look like a circle to me. We still have no corners, so that's a good thing. That was a little close for me. My bad. We don't have anything oh no, never mind. I was gonna say we don't have anything to decamo balloons, but the monkey sub is for.
Clean cut and still cuts a tomato.
Should have maybe put the glue gunner towards the end of the track, because it's not cutting through the mobs all that well. I was hoping it would do a little bit more work, but okay. Mob Shredder is going to be great for us. Going to clean up any mobs that get past Sada, which is going to be pretty much all of them. Meanwhile, we still have this for cleanups. That will do work. Okay. Saving up for tier 5s at this point. We have so much more of the game, though.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
All right. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what's going on here. They can see that there could probably be a little bit more of a curve in here somewhere, maybe like right there. It's a little weird that there's no corners, but there still could be more circle to be had, you know? Let's Let's see. Let's get rid of that right there. The little corner right there. Now, is that what we want? It does look more like a diamond, I think, ever so slightly. Even though the corners are more smooth than they were, I think the slope is too sharp, maybe is the thing. Do that. Yeah, there we go. That works. That's what we're going for.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato. And spicy.
Okay, do that again on the other sides.
Leaping sword.
I might... Oh! I might die. Oh. I was gonna say, I might want to do this as its own dedicated stream. Obviously, it's gonna take me a while to do this one emote to figure out how to properly make a circle, but I think once I figure that out, and once I have a better familiarity with the app, I might want to just do some pixel art streams just to do it. Seems like it could be a fun time. Okay, right. So what do we want here? We want 3, 1 and 1, and then another 3. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of math equation within this, because everything that you would think would make a circle is not quite making the circle. It's a combination of like everything else. You gotta keep the sides a certain length, you gotta keep a certain amount of corners, you gotta have a certain amount of edges, all working together, you know?
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
There we go. There's a couple close calls in there, but we got it. Alright, that's going to be streamed today. I'm just going to finish out this little layer of the circle. That'll be it for today. Something's off. What did I do? Something is off here. That's correct. Something is off over here. Oh, I see. The whole thing's just not done. Makes sense. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? I think so. Something about this is a little off. That looks correct to me. Maybe one of these? No. I don't know. Something here is a little bit off, but maybe that's just the grid. Anyways, that will be it for today. thank you very much for watching. If you stuck around the entire day today, I know today was a bit of a mess, but pretty fun. I will continue doing this pixel art stuff on my own time, and I'll let you know how that goes. But in the meantime, if you watched on Twitch, I'll see you tomorrow. No, I'll see you on Tuesday for Borderlands. And if you watched on YouTube, I'll see you on Monday for everything else. So, thank you for watching. See ya!